Whenever a company gets hacked, all the headlines are about the attack itself, the clever malware, the data that got stolen. But what we almost never see is what happens next. And honestly, that's often the hardest part. The most critical, high-stakes piece of the puzzle isn't about the technology at all.
So, just picture it. Your company was hit. The digital dust is finally settled, the attackers have been kicked out, and your security team has managed to contain the breach. The immediate fire's out. So what's left? What's the single most difficult challenge you're facing now?
Yep, talking about it. After that whole technical fight is over, a brand new battle begins. It's a battle for the narrative, for trust, for compliance, and let me tell you, it is an absolute minefield.
Okay, so once a breach is under control, the company has to start explaining what happened to a whole bunch of different people. And here's the thing, you can't just fire off one mass email and call it a day. Every single group needs a different version of the story, totally tailored to what they need to know. This is actually the perfect analogy. Think about it. If you're in a car crash, you're going to tell the story 3 different ways, right? Your mechanic gets the technical stuff, the weird sounds, exactly where the impact was. Your insurance company, they just get the cold, hard facts for the claim. And your friends? They get the dramatic, you're not going to believe this story. It's all the same event, but 3 totally different reports for 3 different audiences.
So let's start with that first circle of communication, the internal tech teams. These are the folks on the digital front lines. They need the raw, totally unfiltered information so they can learn from what happened and, make the company's defenses stronger for next time.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting, because even these internal reports are different. The incident response team, the IR team, they get a report with a totally validated cause. Think of them as the detectives writing the final case file. It has to be confirmed, factual, further record. But the security operations team, the SOC, they get reports with just a suspected cause. They're the paramedics on the scene. They need intel right now to stop the bleeding and can't wait for a full forensic analysis. See the difference? One's for the official record, the other is for immediate, life-saving action.
All right, now we move to the outer ring. This is where things get really, really tricky. When you're communicating externally, every single word is going to be picked apart by regulators, by lawyers, by your customers, and by the public. The message has to be absolutely precise. And man, this is such a delicate balancing act. When you're talking to a regulatory body, you can get technical, you can use jargon, your focus is on proving compliance. But when you talk to the media, it's a completely different language. You have to keep it simple, and here's the crucial part. You never discuss the deep underlying security flaws that the hackers exploited. I mean, that would basically be handing a blueprint to other criminals. Instead, you stick to the immediate cause, you describe your fixes at a very high level, and you focus on controlling the story to keep people's trust.
So we've been talking a lot about what big companies do, but this is where the story pivots. This is where you come in. Because a huge, huge number of these massive corporate breaches, they don't start with some super sophisticated hack. They start with just one person, one inbox, and one single click on a phishing email.
You've seen these a million times, I'm sure. The sender's email address just looks a little off. The grammar's kind of weird. Or there's this sudden, crazy sense of urgency, demanding you click a link right now. These are the classic red flags, and you being able to spot them is the first and, honestly, the most effective line of defense there is.
And it's not just your email anymore, not by a long shot. Attackers are using text messages more and more. It's a technique called smishing. I mean, look at this message about a disabled Apple ID. At a quick glance, it looks legit, right? But it's just a trap designed to get you to hand over your password. The threat can come from anywhere. But here's the good news. Fighting back is incredibly easy. Seriously, you don't have to be a security whiz. In an email client like Outlook, instead of just deleting that sketchy message, you use the junk or phishing button. It's one click. That's it.
It's the same thing in places like Yahoo Mail. Hitting that spam button does so much more than just clean up your inbox. You're actually feeding data back into the system. You're helping to train the filters, making them smarter for literally everyone who uses the service.
And why does that one click matter so much? Because it doesn't just vanish into thin air. It becomes a tiny piece of something way, way bigger, a global collective intelligence system that's designed to protect all of us.
So when you report that phishing email, key data, like the shady URL it came from or the attacker's IP address, gets added to what's called an indicator of compromise feed, or an IOC feed. Just think of it like a massive, real-time most wanted list for the internet, and it's shared instantly between security companies all over the world.
So what does all this mean? It means when you report that one weird email,
you're not just protecting yourself. You're adding another brick to this huge global defensive wall. That URL you flagged, the one you can see here in a real phishing feed, is now automatically blocked for millions of other people. Your single click just became a shield.
And that really gets to the heart of it all. As cybersecurity expert Dr. Erdal Azkaya puts it, this isn't just the job for the CEO or the head of security. Real, effective defense comes from building a culture where everyone feels like they're part of the solution, where every single person is empowered to spot a threat and raise their hand.
So it all just boils down to this really simple, kind of scary math. An attacker only needs one person to slip up, one click, and they're in. But for us, the defenders, to win, we need everyone to be vigilant. We need everyone to report. So the real question is, which side of that equation are you on?